Ethan had never expected a request like this. The small shuttle that brought him to the human colony on Lyra Prime touched down smoothly, but the moment he stepped onto the platform, a girl ran toward him, her expression a mixture of determination and hope. Her eyes were wide, shining with something he did not yet understand. "Human," she said, almost out of breath. "My mother needs a partner, and I wish for a father. Please, marry her and help lead the galaxy." Ethan blinked, unsure if he had heard correctly. He looked at her, then at the buildings that rose in clean lines behind her, at the council banners fluttering in the breeze, and realized she meant every word. She was not joking. I don't understand," he said slowly. "Why me? Why, would your mother?" The girl, Arya, interrupted him with a small laugh that was almost serious. "You are human. You think differently. You see solutions others do not. You have the courage to make hard choices. My mother needs someone she can trust, someone who can stand with her when the galaxy asks for decisions no one else can make." Ethan felt a mixture of awe and doubt. He had spent years working in diplomacy and exploration, negotiating between human colonies and alien worlds, but never had anyone asked him to marry a leader of a human colony, let alone to help her guide the galaxy. Arya's eyes softened. "I know it is strange, but I have watched her. My mother, she carries the weight of our people and of all the council worlds on her shoulders. She does not have time to look for happiness for herself. That is why I am asking. For her, and for all of us." Ethan took a deep breath. The girl was serious, and the truth in her words was undeniable. Lyra was a respected leader, known throughout the systems for her wisdom and courage. Ethan had read about her, seen her. Decisions influence entire worlds, but he had never met her in person. And now, through this child's words, he realized he might be about to. Arya ran ahead, guiding him toward the central building of the colony. The streets were alive with citizens going about their routines, but every face seemed to reflect respect for Lyra. They did not look at Ethan with curiosity or suspicion. They merely watched as if they knew he was meant to be there. They entered a large council hall, where the sun from the twin suns above cast golden beams across polished floors. At the far end, standing tall and composed, was Lyra. She turned slowly when she sensed their presence, and her eyes met Ethan's. There was a sharpness in her gaze, a measure of authority, and yet something else, something softer, curious, almost like she was waiting to understand him. "Lyra," Arya said boldly, running to her mother's side. "I brought him. Please meet him." Lyra's brow raised slightly, a hint of amusement flickering across her face. "This is the human?" she asked. Her voice was calm, measured, carrying the tone of someone used to commanding attention and respect. "Yes, Mother," Arya replied. "He is the one I told you about. I hope you will listen to him. I think he can help." Ethan stepped forward, feeling both nervous and determined. "It is an honor to meet you, Lyra. Your daughter spoke very highly of you. I want to help in any way I can." Lyra studied him carefully, her sharp eyes scanning not just his appearance but his posture, the tone of his voice, the confidence in his stance. After a moment, she smiled, a brief curve that softened her usually commanding presence. "Many have offered help before," she said quietly, "but few understand what it truly means. Leadership is not just power or strategy. It is responsibility. It is sacrifice. It is the courage to make choices that may not please everyone, even those you care about most." Ethan nodded. "I understand. I have faced difficult choices before. I am ready to learn what is needed and to act when action is required." Arya beamed at him. "See? I told you he could do it." She looked at her mother with hope. "Please, Mother, give him a chance. Not just for the galaxy and for us too." Lyra's smile deepened slightly, a mixture of curiosity and approval. She gestured toward a large window overlooking the city, the twin suns reflecting on metallic towers and the movement of citizens below. "Very well," she said. "You will observe. You will learn. and you will show me whether you can stand beside us, not just as a guest, but as a partner." Ethan felt the weight of her words and the enormity of the task. This was more than a personal request. This was a chance to touch the fate of worlds, to make decisions that could save or endanger millions. And yet, he felt a spark of purpose he had never known before. "I accept," he said firmly. "I will do my best, and I will stand by you and your daughter in any way I can." Arya jumped with excitement. "Yes, you are going to be amazing." Lyra's eyes softened, and for the first time, Ethan noticed a flicker of something almost human in her, the hint of longing for a companion who could match her mind and heart. He knew the days ahead would be filled with challenges, but in that moment he also knew that an extraordinary journey was beginning, one that would test courage, wisdom, and the very meaning of family in a galaxy full of stars. And for Ethan, that journey had begun with a child's hope, a mother's strength, and a request that no human had ever imagined. Ethan spent the next morning walking through the city with Arya. She explained everything he needed to know about Lyra Prime and the council that governed the neighboring star systems. Towering buildings stretched toward the sky, their glass-like surfaces reflecting the twin suns. Citizens moved efficiently, their actions coordinated but not mechanical. There was a rhythm to the planet that felt alive, purposeful, and human in its own way. "Every decision my mother makes affects not just us, but countless lives across the galaxy," Arya said, her voice serious. "Even small mistakes can have big consequences. That is why I want you to understand her world before asking her to trust you." Ethan nodded, absorbing every word. He had dealt with alien civilizations before, but the combination of human ingenuity and interstellar politics here was something new. "I want to understand," he said. "I want to know everything that matters to her people and to you." Arya smiled. "Good. Then today you will watch her in action." They arrived at the council chambers, a vast space filled with representatives from dozens of planets. Lyra sat at the head, her posture commanding but calm. Aliens of various shapes and sizes spoke in their own languages, some through translators, others through telepathic links. Ethan felt the weight of centuries of diplomacy pressing down on him, yet he also felt the excitement of witnessing true leadership. A dispute had arisen between two neighboring systems over mining rights. Without warning, the debate grew heated, with accusations and threats flying from both sides. Ethan could see the tension in every delegate's face. Lyra listened quietly, her eyes scanning every detail, every subtle motion. Then she spoke. Her voice carried authority, clarity, and reason all at once. "Both systems have valid concerns," she said calmly. "But the galaxy cannot afford conflict over resources that can be shared. I propose a joint operation where both systems benefit equally and learn from each other. We will set up a council to monitor the project and ensure fairness." Murmurs of approval filled the chamber. Ethan watched as representatives from both sides nodded, some reluctantly, others with relief. Lyra's strategy had turned potential war into collaboration. Arya squeezed his hand. "See, this is her genius. And she does it without anger, without showing weakness, yet she never loses control." Ethan felt a deep respect growing. This was more than diplomacy. It was patience, intelligence, and courage in action. He realized why Arya had chosen him, not because he was stronger or braver, but because she saw the potential for him to learn, adapt, and help where needed. After the council meeting, Lyra invited Ethan to a private observation room overlooking a busy research facility. Scientists, engineers, and diplomats worked side by side, coordinating projects that would affect trade, communication, and security across multiple planets. Lyra explained the importance of integrating human technology with alien systems, how understanding each culture's strengths could prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. "You will be tested," she said quietly, "not just in diplomacy but in judgment. Every decision, every suggestion, every action you take will matter. If you are to stand beside me, you must learn quickly, think clearly, and act decisively." Ethan nodded. "I am ready. I want to help and I want to do it right." Lyra studied him for a long moment. There was a flicker of approval in her eyes. "Good. Then you will begin tomorrow. I will assign you a case where you can observe, advise, and, if necessary, intervene. You will see the challenges firsthand." Arya leaned closer to Ethan as they walked back to their quarters. "This is amazing, isn't it?" she whispered. You are about to see everything my mother does and maybe even help her. I knew you were the one, Ethan smiled. I am learning already thanks to you. You've given me a chance to understand more than I ever imagined. That night, as Ethan looked out at the twin suns setting across the horizon, he felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. He thought of Arya's words, of Lyra's command, and of the galaxy that depended on careful, thoughtful leadership. The stakes were higher than anything he had faced before, yet he felt ready to step into this new world. Not just as a visitor, but as someone who could make a difference. Ethan knew that tomorrow would bring challenges unlike any he had seen. He might face alien politics, technical dilemmas, or even threats to the colonies themselves. But he also knew something else, that his journey was not just about helping Lyra, or even about fulfilling Arya's wish. It was about proving that humans could rise to challenges, make choices with integrity, and stand firm when the galaxy needed them most. He felt a quiet determination. No matter how difficult the trials, he would do his best. And he would do it for Arya, for Lyra, and for the countless lives depending on them. In the darkness before the twin suns rose again, Ethan made a promise to himself. He would not fail. He would learn. And when the time came, he would stand beside Lyra as a partner, as a guide, and as someone who could help the galaxy face whatever dangers lay ahead.